Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Doug Mr. Guy on Board Game Geek, Doug Mr. Guy on YouTube, and various other places like Twitch, etc. I think it's the Doug Mr. Guy on Twitch. Anyway, getting ready for episode 2 of The Shared Dream. So if you're enjoying this playthrough, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're feeling up to it, by all means, support me on Patreon. You can find me over there as well. We're going to dive right into it. I actually don't think I made any mistakes last round. Our first round in this blind playthrough, and we did get into trouble though. I made a tactical mistake. I don't think I made a rules mistake. My tactical mistake was I really wasn't counting on what the Nemesis villain was going to do, and he already took down one of my people in a bad way, Erica, our telepath. And so we're going to have to try and recover from that this round and see what we can accomplish. We're going to try and escape and get out of the area. Maybe use some of our abilities, we'll see. But we're going to get started with our day phase immediately, so let's just dive right in. Now, if you want to know how to play a little bit more, see the setup, go a little rules overview, please pop over to episode 1 of this series, and you will be able to see that. You'll learn a little bit more about our characters and all that good stuff. So we're just going to dive right into the gameplay, though. I don't want to waste any more time. So, okay, the first thing we do in our day phase is we start with the return. And what that means is if we were in our Animus form, we would come back to our normal Anima form. Or if we were in doubt, which is the case here, we would no longer be in doubt. We'd stand up and get moving. So Erica's got to get her act together. She took a beating last time. She's got doubt, and doubt's very hard to get rid of. 2 doubt is one of the ways we lose the game. You only get 2. Each character has 2, basically, so it's pretty rough. All right, now we're going to check on our echoes. Now, if you recall, every round we are going to get a new echo, and Drained was the one that Tillman got, so we're going to discard that. And I really like the one she had, Bright Eyes. That was pretty neat, but we're going to draw a couple more now. I don't think there are any... No, we're not in any special place that's going to help us with that. So let's just draw our echoes for each character and see what we get. Hopefully we get some good ones. Here is our telepath, a feeble core. Oh no, this is bad timing on this actually. The shadowy figures in your nightmare kept you off balance and dizzy. Upon awakening you feel rather uncoordinated. -2 combat. That kind of changes some of my plans for her this turn, but we'll see. We can still head over and try and just solve. Maybe we'll just continue toward our thingy here, our personal reflection, which we need to go to the museum to get to. Okay, let's go draw the one for Tillman. Come on, Tillman, you're a superhero. You should be doing good things. Haunted, God, we're just -3 social. And one of the things I was going to do there, of course, was do something with the social. It says, surrounded by ghosts of departed loved ones, screaming for help, you stood in stunned silence. The sound of your own bawling has awoken you from this nightmare. Well, it's still a nightmare because it's blowing what I wanted to do this turn. Man, that really hosed us. Those are both bad. There's good stuff in there. Where's the good stuff? We got 1 so far. Out of all the stuff we've gotten, we got 1 good thing. I guess the good news is, as we discard those, we're going to get to the good ones. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do convictions and nightmare. That means that we're going to go boom and boom for Erica. She's down up to 3 conviction and 2 nightmare. Sadly, Tillman looks more like this. 1 conviction, 2 nightmare. We get 1 every single conviction phase. And then we're going to decide our action order, and I believe that we're going to go with Erica again. We're going to start with her and see if we can get something done. Now, one of the reasons I did want to move her to her Animus state is I wanted her to be able to move faster, because we got to get away from the bad guy. So I think as we look for actions, let's take a look at our actions. Because now that we've decided who our next player, our first player is going to be, it's time to decide our actions. And the one I'm talking about is to channel. Spend up to 3 conviction to channel your Animus at the appropriate rank. This is always a free action. So it doesn't take up our action. It just requires that we spend our stuff, and then we can move. So we're going to do that with Erica. How does this work? There's a difference between, I think it's called sacrificing or whatever, or sacrifice and spend. So we need to spend up to 3, and we're just going to spend 1. However, that does, when we spend it, it turns into a nightmare. What that means for us, though, is that we're going to drop this down right here, and we're going to be in this form, our telepath form right now. That means we're going to take our standee off the board and replace it with our figure. And then we're also going to get our rank 1 power and flip over our Animus ability for rank 1. So now it's really time to talk about this. She has turned into her telepath form, so she's tougher, got more stuff she can do. It says, time to get moving, whether you like it or not. As a free action, play this card to take a magic test. We're probably going to do this. We have 7 magic. Move yourself, anyone animate, or anyone enemy on any space, a number of spaces, as per your magic test result. Any enemy who are moved this way also take 1 damage per space moved. Anyone moved in this way ignores road directions and stop signs. So based on a roll, we can move up to 3 spaces, and the Nemesis cannot be moved this way, in this manner, but takes damage if they had been. So I don't really want to, actually I want to move ourselves in this manner. Now, it says that any enemies who are moved this way take damage, not allies. And then we also have this rank 1 passive aspect, Pain Recollection. The first amount of damage dealt to you is returned to its dealer in double the amount. So if we do get caught by the villain again, maybe we'll be okay. But we're going to do this and take this test because we can move without spending any of our actions. So far we haven't spent an action yet because channeling was free. And then this is free, and this could get us a little away from the bad guy, which we got to do because if we take another doubt, we're history. So let's roll. Remember, this is bad, this is good, and we're going to add our magic to it. So, well, that sucks. So this is currently -2, which means we got a 5 because our magic is 7. So a 5 is going to be 2 spaces. I'll take that. That's okay, and that'll put us over 1, 2, which is perfect because it means we're going to actually take our first action to move. So for our next action, we're going to move. In her telepath form, she gets to move 2. So she's going to move here to the boxing gym and continue north to our museum as a first action. That was her. So she's got 2 more actions she can do. And I think the next one we're going to do is going to be a reflect. We're going to draw our appropriate reflection card because we are at the museum and we can continue our story of Circe Trova. So let's do that with her. She is moved up there, and she is now solidly 3 away from the villain. So the villain's just going to move toward her and drop some bad guys around, I think. But we're going to have to be constantly on the run from him, which I don't. That kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And hopefully we can get Tillman in his superhero form and moving around a bit too. So let's take our second action to reflect. Now, we do have, this reflection is done, so I'm just going to put this on the bottom, and we're going to reflect here at the museum. The problem is, there's 2, so I'm just going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. We're going to take the first one off the top and see what it says. Oh, reflection is going to be at the museum again. It says, Circe Trova, you walk the halls of the museum. Each step, here, we'll pull this up so you can see it a little better. Each step rendering you more in tune with the cosmic power you wield in your dreams. While you stare at the crystal, part of you hopes, remember I had the crystal that I took with us, that nothing will happen and that there is no bomb. But we know that's not true. The hope is quickly dashed as the crystal starts to shimmer and give off a soft blue light. The light seems to dim and brighten as you walk in different directions. Best to continue through the museum until something happens. I don't know if it actually says Museum 1 or Museum 2. I wonder what the other one says. Anyway, your reflection continues at the museum, so we're going to lay that on top. She has completed her second reflection, and then she is going to rest. Why is she going to rest? Because we want to rest a nightmare away. We don't want to have any bad guys come out. We want to stall the shadows coming out on the board as long as possible. That was her actual third action now, so she used her move, reflect, and rest as an action, and that's what she's done this turn. Now we're going to go on to Tillman. But Tillman needs to hustle, so the first thing we're going to do with him is channel as well. That means we're going to take his 1 conviction, flip it over to a nightmare, and he is going to channel into his superhero form. So that means we're going to take his figure and replace him, his standee, with his Animus miniature, and we're going to place this right here. Now his rank 1 passive aspect is strong arm. Whenever you move, you may take 1 anima who shares your location with you. We don't have that scenario right now. And then our level 1 ability that we can do is the mighty throw. I think I read this already, but you may you may have started this fight, but I'm going to finish it. As an action, we can basically play this card to deal 3 damage to an enemy in our space. We're not too worried about that. I'm really mostly up for the movement. So let's go and take our first action. So here's Tillman in his superhero form, and we're going to be flying all the way over to the docks in one move. So, no, we're not actually. I wonder. I don't think you can avoid a stop. Let's see. Whenever you move, you take nope. That's really not cool. Well, here's what we can do. This isn't how I planned it, but it'll be okay. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We could stop at the... no, we're not hurt. All animals at the high school may trade artifacts and echoes with each other for free. Nope, we're not going to do that. But we did make it there in one move. I really can't... If I spend my next move, I'm going to be within 2 of the villain. He'll come to me. I have a combat of 4 versus his combat of 7. I can use Mighty Throw. It's an action, so actually I can't. He'd have to be with us already. And if I move in there and do our reflection, we won't be able to move out. That was our first action. Our second action would be to move again. He's right now 3 away from me. So do I even do that? There's the question of the day. Do I even do that, or do I do something else? So I poofed into my superhero form at the investigations place. I'm going to take that back and think about this just a little more. I could then go to, let's say, the police. No, there's nothing to do there. The warehouse, no, not going to help. Drawing an artifact, I could do that. Yeah, maybe what we're going to do, I want to make sure we're not 3 away, or more than 3 away from the villain. That's the main thing. I don't want to fight him right now. We're not in the best place. I don't have any I don't have any artifacts for our guy, and right now we're haunted, which means our social's down. So going to the bottoms up bar. I could go there and sacrifice, instead of turning into a superhero, I could go there, sacrifice our, and take the action in the bottoms up bar. It allows us to sacrifice a conviction, and in doing that we get a special token that allows us to get +3 on our next social test. Is there value in that? I don't know. Or I could stay where I'm at, but I'm already down 1 on social tests. That's bad. So my currently my social, actually I'm down 3, so currently my social would be -1. This is a bad move. But I'm starting to wonder if I should have turned into a superhero. I don't know that it's going to help me that much this turn. So I think we're going to take it back. Tillman's not having a lot of luck right now, but that's going to allow us to do this. We're going to go, boom, we're not going to take that action. We're just going to do this. So we don't have all of this stuff. We're going to move 1. We've put this back now. He's not going to be in his superhero form, which is sad, but it is what it is. First action will be to move up there. Second action, we will sacrifice. Sacrifice, remember, so that means it comes off. Sacrifice to get a token that allow him to get +3 on his next social roll. So we'll put that token with him here, right next to his board. Now, again, that gives him +3 on the next time he chooses to. He can spend it. You may spend the cube to gain +3. So I can hold on to it until I want to, but I have the cube to spend. That was action number 2. And action number 3, I think he's going to draw an artifact. We're not in the, we're really kind of struggling with this right now. To get a good start, I got a bad start. Now I'm trying to, and for some reason Tillman is unable to really get things going. So I think he's going to draw an artifact and see what we get. So his third and final action is to spend his. Oh, he doesn't have any conviction left. He spent it already. He can't do that. Wow. So I think he's going to rest. He will rest and gain a conviction. Yes, I know he's at 2. Might have a shadow come out, but it's worth the risk. And that will be his third turn. So he's really just kind of wandering around town right now, trying to get his act together and figure out what he does, because we want to make sure that the villain is far enough away where I do not have to fight him quite so quickly. Okay, and basically that's it for guys. That's our day phase right there. We did everything we could do. Well, we did get our personal reflection going for Erica. She is currently in her Animus telepath form, so she's a bit tougher, which is good. And then we're going to go to our night phase. We're going to flip that over. First thing we're going to do is enemies are going to act as not the nemesis, so we don't have any other enemies. Then we're going to raise the taint. So we're going to raise 1 in the museum, 1 in the voodoo shop. The voodoo shop is about to have shadow come out as a result, and 1 there in downtown. Okay, that's it. Then we're going to take our nightmare tests. Well, you know how that works. Just going to roll a d6. We want to roll high. A 2 is not going to do it. So we do have, I got to randomly draw and I'm going to pull one out. Let's see. We do have one come out. And a good thing is it's a 1. Now, if I recall correctly, when we do that, so we got this guy, this shadow came out. He's going to be on our space with us, okay? He's just a normal shadow, nothing crazy about him. He's got a strength of 1 currently, but I do believe he's about to get stronger because I think we go up 1 for every nightmare that we have. So let me just check that. Shadows. Let's see, spawning a shadow, spawning enemies. Yeah, okay, there are several to do. When an enemy is spawned by a personal reflection card or failed nightmare tests, it immediately attacks or uses dark magic against the player who spawned it. Okay, but that's not what I wanted to look at. When we spawn them, the number with the dot, okay, we got that. Oh man, this is, okay. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I just need to find where it says this. I'm 99% sure I'm correct about this. In the night phase, nightmare test. If the result is higher than the number of the nightmare test player, is nothing to fear. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm like 150% sure actually that the strength of the shadow is based on the nightmare that we currently have. So, for every point of nightmare the player had at the time of the failed nightmare test, raise the score by 1 by turning the dial. Okay, so right now this guy, he's a 1, but he's about to go up. He's going to go up 2 and 3, so he's a 3rd level shadow. And guess what? He's fighting our girl, our telepath. However, you know that she has a passive. The first amount of damage dealt to you is returned to the dealer as double the amount. So whether we win or lose, we're going to be okay. Now our combat is only a 3. And it's a 3, so we're currently at a 0 and a 0. Good news is it does only 1 damage, but let's roll and see what we get. Oh, man, me and the double 6s. So this is a flat-out 0. This is about the worst roll I could have gotten, right? Let's see. Let me just think about this for a moment. Actually, as a defensive move, that is more than fine because basically it means no damage done to her in that turn. I wouldn't have minded the damage be done because then we could have killed it. But we didn't. So again, here we are, not doing so well in this regards. But that is going to be the end of the nightmare phase action, and now we're going to move to the last of the night phase actions, which is the Nemesis himself, which is Bryce the Damned. Darn shadow, I tell you. So Bryce is going to move 3, and obviously he's going to try and get to the closest player, which is going to be Erica. So he's going to go 1, 2, and 3. Now, what it says there is that if Bryce ends his movement on a space without a player, he will spawn a minion. Draw 1 minion card and place its matching token on the same space as Bryce. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I haven't really shuffled these, so I'm going to give him a quick shuffle. These are his minions. We're going to see what we get, and that means there's enemies starting to pop on the board. This game feels really tight to me. I don't think we're doing that well. And, I mean, with Tillman not being able to get a lot of actions going, we're suffering. We got a lackey. So this is the lackey with the dog. That's the one we're going to have. He's got a combat of 3, a magic of 0 to move of 2, so special ability. All enemies that share space with the lackey receive +1 combat. Take 1 bomb code from the top of the bomb deck and remove this card from the game when the lackey is defeated. So, this is now out in play. This lackey, I got to find the token for him. We'll put him out on the board, and if we kill him, we get the token, the bomb information, which is really important to us. So that's a good thing. Okay, here is his token. It is going right here at the boxing gym. And of course the villain's there as well. So it looks like we're going to have to try and get Erica to continue to be her telepath self and get some stuff going on to kill these guys. We got to do some serious damage and defeat them. I really do want a bomb code card, even though we're not getting a bomb yet. Okay, well, let us continue on and start our new day. So we're going to flip this back over to the day phase and start taking our turn. Of course, the first thing that happens is our characters return to their normal state. So Erica will pop back into her human form as she wakes up from the evening. This means that we're going to take this off and Erica is going to become normal again, just a normal old person. Now, Tillman hadn't done any of that, so it doesn't really matter. Then we're going to get a new echo. Hopefully we get some good echoes this time. So we're going to get rid of this feeble. Let's get the echo deck and see what we can get for her. We get Empowered. Oh, this has got to be good. Come on now. Your dream was one of power. You were unstoppable, able to shrug off deadly blows and decimate your foes with magic. You woke up with a great sense of satisfaction and inner strength. When you channel your Animus, you become one rank higher for free. Oh, that is fantastic. That was good timing on that one for Erica, because we're gonna be doing some damage this turn. And now we're going over to Tillman on the Echoes. We're gonna get rid of this Haunted. Hopefully we get something good. Let's see what he gets for this turn. Touched. I don't know if that's good or bad. An ancient being was pleased by your act of generosity. They granted you a token of their favor that has traveled with you into this world. Draw one artifact. Oh man, we got a token of favor from a powerful being in the dream world that sent us something back that we can use. So here's the artifact deck. What do we get? The Archmage's Tome. This dusty old tome contains what appeared to be ramblings of a madman. Apparently, he attempted to pierce the heavens from his tower through an arcane ritual. +3 magic. Wow. That's not really the best artifact for him. We might want to get that to Erica, whose magic is more important than her abilities. But we'll take it. We will take it. Now we're going to start doing our stuff, though. I'm kind of thinking I want to get him away. So the next thing, actually, is we're going to gain our conviction and our nightmares. So Erica is now at 3 conviction and 3 nightmares. Tillman, however, is at 2 conviction and 3 nightmares. So he's a little behind on that. He's got to get rid of some nightmares this turn, I believe. We'll see if we can accomplish that. They need a psychiatric ward hospital here. Maybe there is one. I just didn't get it drawn. But that's it for that. Then we're going to decide our order of play, and I think we're going to go with Tillman this time. We're going to go with Tillman. Yeah, I believe so. And we're going to get him to the docks to start his personal reflection. Actually, we can go with Erica, I think. Yeah, we can do that, because she's going to stay at the museum for at least enough to get her personal reflection done. Which, you know, is... yeah, if we reflect, yeah, we can do that. But we're going to channel, that is for sure. We're going to channel once, because, remember, she's going to be boosted on her abilities this turn. So let's do that. She channels her inner power. That means she's going to go whoosh. Become her superhuman self again, but we know that she now has 4 nightmares, so we got to deal with that. She is going to however, be at rank 2, so it's the rank 2 ability is the telepath can move an extra 2 spaces when targeted by telekinesis. Can be moved an extra 2 spaces. So if she targets herself with her telekinesis, she can do that. Now, she is going to, of course, have her telekinesis ability and her rank 2 ability of dominate. Come on, I know you want to. And don't tell me you don't. I can read your mind after all. As an action, play this card and choose an enemy on any space. Immediately move the enemy any number of spaces in any direction up to their movement score. They may then attack or use dark magic per the normal rules on an enemy in their space. Nemesis are immune. Of course the Nemesis is immune, but the minion, the lackey, is not. Neither is the shadow in our area. So we do know that we're going to replace our standee with our superhero, our character miniature for the telepath. She's done well this turn. Yeah, I think now we got. Remember, she hasn't taken an action yet. She has not taken an action yet. So I think for her first action, she might use that dominate, push the shadow into the boxing gym to attack the lackey. She could do that. The lackey does have, let me see, 3 health. So the minion's only going to do 1 damage, but it would definitely, or we could dominate the lackey to come into our space. Let's think about that. The first thing we're going to do is reflect. So she turns into a superhero and then she reflects. And you know that reflecting is just going to draw her next card from her personal reflection deck. Let's see what that gives us. Okay, it says, Saratova, as you hold the warm crystal in your hands, you recall the true purpose of the item. The ability to scry through time and space has followed you from your dreams in the form of the crystal. The ticking grows louder. Make a magic test. Okay, well, I'm glad I converted because we're at 7 magic. And see what we get. Okay, so let's do that. We're going to make a magic test. Come on, don't give me double doubles again. Okay, so 0. That means our magic is 7. So I think we're at 6 plus. We definitely are at 6 plus. As clear as day, you see an image of yourself staring into waters of a large fountain. Your reflection continues downtown. Okay, so now we're going to do that, and we know that we have to go downtown to our next reflection. Good job, we made the magic test, right? So it could have taken us in a couple directions. I think we're getting pretty close to doing something interesting with this. I could also attack. Yeah, you know what I can do is attack the minion, the lackey, with telekinesis. And it says our telekinetic ability. Make a magic test. Again, we're at 7. I got to get that magic tome, that Archmage tome, over to her. That would be really powerful for her. On any space, any number of spaces, as per your magic test results. So basically, we can move her to do 3 damage. If we do enough, we can do 3 damage to him and just kill him outright, or chase him down and kill him and take the bomb code. Even though we don't have the bombs out yet, we could get the codes, right? We could do that. We got a lot of things we can do now. It's kind of crazy. What we do know is we don't want to fight Bryce. He's a little too tough for us still. He's not as tough for Tillman in superhero form, but he is too tough for us. We could also kill the shadow before we go on, and maybe just get the heck out of there and head toward the downtown, which we can't do right away because Bryce would catch up to us there. We're gonna have to go in a roundabout way. So I think, now remember, our movement still as a telepath is only 2, so we're gonna have to make more than 1 move to get the heck out of there, I believe. We will, but we could, yeah, I think we have options, guys. We have options. Okay, so I think the first thing we're going to do is I think we're just going to attack the shadow. I'm going to leave the lackey where he's at right now. I'm going to get rid of the shadow, and we're going to use our telekinesis. That is not an attack, and it's a free action. You know what? I really should use that. Oh, I got to think. Yep, we're going to use telekinesis on the lackey as a free action, since we get to do that. And he's in this space right here, so we're going to roll a magic test. Hopefully we do well, instead of rolling doubles. No, we did poorly. Very poorly, actually. So that is a -3, which means we did a 5. We can push the minion 2 spaces. We'll do that. So the lackey goes 2 spaces, boom, boom, and takes 2 damage out of the 3 that he can take. So he did that, and we knocked him 2 spaces in front of us. That was not an action, remember. So far I haven't actually done an action. I could also do this with the Druid Staff as an action, sacrifice 1 conviction. I'm not ready to do that. I've already sacrificed conviction to become the telepath. Oh, man. I could attack. So right now I'm only going to be able to move 2, which means that the bad guy will be able to catch up with me. I need to move more than once, which means my next 2 actions really need to be moves. Actually, 2 of my 3 actions need to be moves. And I haven't taken one yet. So, here's what we're going to do. We are definitely going to attack this guy, and hopefully we roll better. Remember, our combat's a 3, theirs is a 3. I don't think we're going to do that well against it, to be honest. It's probably better that we just move away. I don't know. Let me think some more. I'm sorry I keep pausing to think, but there's actually, this is really important because if I take one more doubt, then I'm done. So I got to be very careful. Yep. Okay. Here's where we're going to attack that minion, the shadow that's in our space. It is a strength 3, so it only does 1 damage. It's strength 3, but we got to see if we can kill it. The rolls have been really pathetic, but that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Okay, so difference is 2 to, so we got a 4. Right now we're at a 4. And our combat is a 3, so it's a 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to be easily enough to kill it because we do 2 points of damage as the telepath, plus 1 for every point over 0 over its strength we are, so which is 3, because we're 1 over. Remember, it's strength 3. So we are 1 over. That is enough to kill the shadow. That was a good action, okay? And that was perfect. Okay, now our next move is going to be to go 1 and 2 to there, so we moved 2 away. Or do I want to move? I need to be 3 away from him. I am currently 3 away. All I need to do is move 1 more. So you know what I'm going to do? No. That's what I'm going to do. I got to stick to my plan here. And then for our last action, she's going to move again and go 1 and 2 to this space. That does leave us with 4 convictions, so we are going to spawn a shadow, guys. It is going to happen. Because I'll be at 6. It's going to be oh my god, it's going to be a tough one. Wow. Really nothing I can do about it either at this point, because I can't lower her. I cannot lower her nightmare right now without problems. Because a rest action is in fact an action. It's you gain 1 conviction or remove 1 nightmare, and I just can't really afford to do it. We're going to take a chance. We're going to take a chance, guys. Okay, that is the end of her actions. She has moved away from our bad guy, the Bryce, the damned. Now let's move on to Tillman. So Tillman, he is going to he's going to channel. So we're going to do that. That's going to cost him 1 of his conviction and go there. He's going to be level 1. So that puts him at, let's see, he can do his mighty throw ability, but there's really nobody to do it on. Do I even want to do that? I need it for the movement, actually. I need it for the movement, because otherwise he only moves 1. It kind of sucks to turn into a superhero just so I can fly, but that's what I'm doing. And this is whatever you move, you may take 1 anima who shares your location with you to a new location. Well, that's what we're going to do, actually. We're going to go... So first, he turned into a superhero. Let's take this off the board and do that. We're going to put his superhero miniature out and then go to our space. Alright, so for his first action, he's going to move, but he's going to stop short at the hospital for 2. Okay. Now he can move 4 and pick up Erica. Yeah, now I got to stay 3 away from Bryce, so he can move to here if I move that direction. I'm trying to get him downtown. Man, I don't know. This is a tough game, guys. Tough game. So, or I could move to the docks. It says all. Yeah, it just gives us, or the voodoo shop. So his first action, actually. So his turning into superhero was not an action. He moved. That was his first action. So for his second action, he's going to move again. He's going to go 1, 2, 3. Now that puts her 1 away from where she needs to. Where does she need to go? She needs to go downtown. He needs to go to the docks. So I'm going to stop us there, unfortunately, because then I'm going to do, for his last action, I'll do his personal reflection. Was that worth doing, or should I just done the full 4 movement and gotten there? I'm going to leave her back up here, guys, at the hospital space, and just move him the full 4 spaces. So now he's only taken 1 action, because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. He's still got 2 actions to go. Next one's going to be to reflect. We have arrived at the docks. He's going to reflect. Here's our, we have more than 1. Nope, just 1 docks card. So we're going to do that. And again, let's see what we get. This is in the showdown, right? The second you approach the ship that is being unloaded, you are filled with an uneasy sense of dread. You don't even have a dream walk to sense that one of the... You don't even have to dream walk to sense that one of the crates contains a dark artifact. You have to assume this is part of Bryce's plan. There are too many people here to try to intercept the item. Better to follow the van they loaded the crates into and maybe intercept a delivery somewhere quiet. Your reflection continues to the warehouse. Okay, well that is what is next up. On the list is the warehouse, and that is his second action. For his third action, he's going to rest and remove 1 of the nightmare that he's got. And that'll be the end of his actions. It wasn't a really... I don't know, I don't feel like I'm optimizing my turns, and I'm spending a lot of time thinking about them too, so that's really interesting. Alright, let's continue on. Okay, now we're going to flip to our night phase, and I do need to check on something, which is... I want to check the movement for the minions. This would be enemy movement. It says all enemies move number of spaces up to their movement space. They move once per night phase. All enemies move toward the nearest player. When equidistant, yeah, they can do that when on the same space. I'm trying to see what happens when they hit a stop. Would they avoid the stop, or would they just move on to the stop and stop there? I think they would move on to the stop. I'm going to check that too and just double check to see if it says anything in the back of the book where it says, you know, extra stuff and information. Yeah, right? Here's the last page that does that. Frequently asked questions. I don't see anything about stops. No. Okay, well, let me track this down a little bit and see what we want to do, because I just need to make sure we're activating the enemy correctly. Okay, guys, we only have one enemy on the board, and that's this minion here, and he's going to, I'm going to say he moves here and stops as part of his movement. He's moving toward the closest hero, which in this case was equidistant between Tillman and Erica. So he moved there and he stopped. Then we're going to raise the taint, and this causes us a bit of a problem because we don't have a lot of ways to remove taint. So the museum is going up by 1. Next turn it will spawn a baddie, so will downtown. And this one is already there. So we're going to take all 4 of these off, and I'm going to reach over and spawn a random guy. What do we get? Oh, good. Just, well, he's a 2 damage guy, but or 1 damage guy, 2 movement. We spawn 1 bad guy here. Spoosh. Okay. Now remember, they've already activated, so he's not going to do anything but spawn. Then we're going to make our nightmare test. This could put a whole bunch of guys out on the board, right? So, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got to roll a 5 or a 6. A 6! Oh, awesome! We rolled a 6. We did not spawn a bad guy. Thank you, Erica, for rolling well. That is fantastic. And then we're going to go over to Tillman. Tillman doesn't have to do badly either. He did it. He rolled a 4. He's only got 3, so we did not spawn bad guys that turn, or additional bad guys. That is fantastic for us. Okay, then so we passed our nightmare tests. We're good. Now we're going to go to the Nemesis. He's going to move 3 in the closest route to a nearest hero. So we're going to have to take a look at this because we got some weird streets. He could go 1, 2, 3, or that way, or 1, 2, 3. I think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Either way puts him closer to both heroes. So I think he'd go 1, 2, 3. Or do we want him to go that way and drop a guy in the library? I mean, I know that Tillman's going downtown. Huh. Yeah, since it's equal... No, it's not equal distance. What am I saying? Yeah, it is. It's 2 away. So he's going to go 1... I don't know if this is a mistake. I think 1, 2, 3. Now, it doesn't say he can't have 2 lackeys in the same space. It doesn't say that anywhere. It actually says that the guy that is in his space gets tougher, so he's going to drop another minion there. Here is that deck. Let's see what we get. A leg breaker. Okay. Well, we have a leg breaker out on the board. We're going to get him out and place him in the same space as our guy there. Now let's see. This looks like him right here, right? It sure does. It sure does. That's him right there, and he is going to go out where Bryce is at. Boom, right here. So those 2 guys are going to be traveling together. They could make some bad news for us right there. But that is going to be the end of the round, actually, and the end of this episode. So, guys, I hope, please make sure to note anything that I may have missed. If I made a mistake, I want to be able to correct it. I don't think that I did. I do think this game is really challenging, actually. You know, and, trading was a free action, right? Other actions, ability scenario. I gotta look at the free actions because when I was in the same space as one of my thing I want to do is give this to our telepath. Actually, let me look at see if I can what trading with characters, if that's a free action or not. I'm gonna take a look at that real quick and see if we can do that before we free actions. Some things that the free actions are the two most common free actions are channeling your Animus, discarding a card for any reason is a free action unless otherwise noted. There are actions. Okay, it doesn't say that. If I'm in the same space, can I do that? That's the question of the day. Let me think. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, I can't see that you can trade artifacts, and you can only ever have 2 as a character. And if you get a 3rd one, it says you have to drop it. So I'm going to. I can't see where you can trade items. Maybe because they're in these spiritual formats or something, you can't do that. But anyway, that's going to end our turn, or actually our episode. That was 2 turns. We're getting around the board. We're getting to our personal reflections, which means we're going to expose the bombs. We're still doing okay. I feel like we recovered a bit from last turn. We only got 1 shadow on the board. No reavers. Reavers are worse shadows. And we do have 2 of the lackeys, or a lackey and a leg breaker, 2 of the minions of our villain, Bryce the Damned, out on the board that we can defeat and get bomb cards from. But right now, without having exposed where the bombs are, having the bomb code cards may or may not be very fruitful. We'll see. I'm going to think just collecting them is going to be fruitful, and we're going to try to do that. But and it's sad that I'm using Bryce's superhero ability with all the strengths he's got just to move, but it is what it is. And at least he's not too high on the nightmare track. Unlike Erica, I mean, she's got to get rid of some nightmare, but if she can't stay where she's at, because the big bad guy's there, yeah. So that's really rough. She can push him away though, so that may be what she has to do, is get rid of him. Yeah, okay, well guys, that's going to be the end of that. Again, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Take care.